Hey folks, thanks for joining us today during these challenging times. Maybe you're quarantined at home, whether it's a shelter in place or a stay at home. We have a recipe for you that hopefully will comfort your stress. It's from New England, where I'm from, New England Clam Chowder. Super easy recipe, quick, it'll be great for the family, and I can't wait to share it with you coming up next. Hi, Randall here with Cooking Under Pressure, a YouTube channel dedicated to teaching you how to use your pressure cooker, whether it's a Power Pressure Cooker XL, Instapot, Cuisinart, whatever pressure cooker you're using. We're going to give you the tips and the tricks on how to use it and learn some awesome recipes and make sure that you have no fear in using your pressure cooker. Please, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button below and the notification bell. We'll get all the newest videos out to you, and we have an awesome video coming up for you right now. Welcome back, friends. Great to see you again. As you know, I'm from New England, and what better way to enjoy the end of winter, beginning of spring, or we're in this quarantine situation, stay at home, shelter at home. How about some New England clam chowder? We have it for you today. We're going to make this super quick. It's really easy, very tasty. It's pretty traditional. We're going to throw a few little interesting ingredients in, but let's do this right now. I've already pre-cooked half a pound of maple bacon. Of course, New England, you got to make it maple bacon. So I've already cooked the maple bacon. We're going to start out right away with a good tablespoon of butter, and make sure that you set your pressure cooker to saute. As I mentioned, I've already sauteed the bacon, so we're going to start to saute the onions with the bacon. So we're going to throw in the onions, get those in there with the butter and the bacon, and start mixing that up. Next, we're going to put in the celery. What we have for celery is just 2 stalks. The onion is just 1 whole onion. I use a yellow onion. So 2 stalks of celery. You combine that as well. And just mix it up. Like I said, if you're using an Instant Pot, just hit your saute button. Start to saute that. I had that on saute a few minutes ago when I was doing the bacon. Also, I use about 2 garlic cloves. You can use the garlic right out of the jar, but I use 2 fresh garlic cloves. We mix that in as well. Like some garlic, I can already start to hear it sizzling up. And we're not going to cook this up for very long. We're just going to mix it up a little bit. Make sure that butter melts as it's already starting to melt. You can see right there. Biggest ingredient here that's going to go in the first cooking phase is just standard white potatoes. We've got 3 large white potatoes, and I've also added 1 Asian potato. It's a Korean or a Japanese potato. It's purple on the outside skin, but it's white on the inside, and it's actually a little bit sweet. I love the balance of the sweet potato with the salty clams, and this is a pretty salty dish, so this is a nice balance. So I use 1 Asian potato. As you can see, it's white. Mix them in with the current ingredients that we have in there, and just give it a good blend up. Make sure that all of those ingredients are mixed together. Remember, folks, we have a Power Pressure Cooker XL. This is an 8-quart. We're going to be able to save some New England clam chowder for the next couple of weeks, because unfortunately here in Florida we are at a stay at home and we're going to need some easy meals. This is an easy meal. We can freeze this and we can have it really quickly just by heating it up on the stove or in the microwave. So blend those together. Got to have bacon in there. Mix that bacon up nicely. And at this point, you can use chicken stock. I have a Tuscany chicken broth. I love this Progresso one. It's got the thyme, marjoram, and the oregano in it. This is 32 ounces. I just use 2 cups. It's half the box. I just eye this. It's about half the box, so that's going to be 2 cups. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I've got the star of the show, the clams. I've got 4 small cans of clams. I have drained the clams. It turns out to be about 2 cups of clam juice. I didn't want to put all of the 2 cups in there, so I'm going to do about 1.5 cups. Depends how much of the clam flavor you like. I'm going with 1.5 cups. We're going to pour that straight in. And last but not least, I've got a couple of bay leaves. Throw 2 bay leaves in there. Make sure you fish them out when you're done. That's it, folks. So I'm going to go to warm to turn off the saute. Close the lid. Make sure your pressure release valve is closed up. And I'm going to do risotto and rice. And that is 6 minutes, folks. That's super quick, super easy. 6 minutes. We're going to cook this up. Then we're going to add the clams, some other ingredients. Of course, you know, we got to have the cocktail of the day. I probably should have had Samuel Adams today, but I didn't have any in stock because it's New England. But I lived in Japan. Sapporo is a nice, crispy, clean beer. Goes great with a bowl of huge clam chowder. Let's try this. Oh, refreshing, clean. In Florida today, it's 90 degrees. I know my sisters in New Hampshire on Monday had half a foot of snow. Cheers to you guys. We'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back, folks. Okay, it took about 9 minutes to get up to pressure, 6 minutes to cook, 15 minutes total. I did a natural release. We had the pressure indicator drop, so we are safe to open it up. As always, as you know, safety. I use a towel. I open it up away from me because there is some hot steam coming up. We've got some beautiful. The bay leaves have come right to the top, so I can fish those out. Make sure you take your bay leaves out, folks. You don't want to be chewing on those crunchy bay leaves. Not good for you. Chowder looks awesome at this point. Potatoes, everything mixed together. Cooked potatoes are nice and soft. Now the second part we are going to put in, I've got 3 cups of half and half. You can use cream, you can use milk. I am using half and half. I just like to use half and half. And I've mixed it with 2/3 cup of flour to thicken it up. So we're going to pour that straight in. Use a whisk. And we'll turn on the saute. So it'll start to thicken this up. Look at that gorgeous soup. It's nice and silky. Speaking of silky, to make it a little bit more silky, I use evaporated milk. So I add half a can of evaporated milk, and it adds this creaminess, silkiness to it. As you know, clam chowder, if you let it sit for a day, it always comes together nice and thick and just yummy. Since you've done it in the pressure cooker, folks, it's already going to taste like that because all those flavors have come together. So now the important star of the show. I've got 4 6.5-ounce cans of chopped clams. When I was back in New Hampshire, of course, we used to use small neck clams. They were fresh. We used to get them right off of a truck downtown on Friday nights. It was awesome, but in this case, we are using just chopped clams that I bought at the store. I like to add corn. I think it adds a nice flavor, but I've also added another little twist to it. I used cream corn, a can of sweet cream corn. This happens to be a can of Libby's. It is, about 14 ounces. And I just put that in. It really balances out. Remember, I have this on saute. It really balances out the saltiness of the clams. And you can see that. Look at that, folks. That is just a traditional with a little twist, New England Clam Chowder. Last liquid we're gonna add about a tablespoon, let's call it 2 tablespoons of sherry, because I've got an 8-quart pressure cooker here. So we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of cooking sherry. I'm gonna mix that in. Sherry always adds, oh, this is perfectly cooked. You can see it is nice and thick. Spice-wise, we're gonna add a good amount of crushed pepper. Just to finish it off, it's always nice to have some crushed pepper in your New England Clam Chowder. I gotta call it chowder because I'm from New Hampshire. Even though my accent has pretty much faded away. You probably hear it once in a while. Last but not least, a little Old Bay. Adds a little seasoning flavor to it. It's up to you. You don't have to add that. I love Old Bay. I put in probably a full tablespoon. That adds a nice, I wouldn't call it a bite, but it's a nice flavor. We mix that in. And that's it today, folks. That is your New England Clam Chowder. And we're gonna put this into a bowl. Make sure I did not forget anything. We did not. Look at this beautiful clam chowder. It's nice and thick. It's like it's been cooking for hours. We're gonna add some green onions to the top. You can add a little bacon if you want to cook up some bacon prior to that. Look at that, folks. Fantastic. Give that a taste. Just like I'm back home in New Hampshire. As always, folks, thanks for joining. If you ain't cooking under pressure, you ain't cooking. And please stay safe out there. We'll see you next time.